Hello there, everyone. Welcome to Diamond Dragon Lady. My name is Ariel, and today we're just going to take a little look over at the month of February 2024 in our astrology chart. I hope that you guys can see this okay as we go through it. It seems a little bit bright to me just looking through the lens, and I haven't done a video in this style before. Usually when I do these astrology talks, it's me on the camera, but I'm trying something new where I'm just showing you the cards or showing you the charts. So this is our month of February that we're looking at, and I've made, a number of notes about it as we do the reading. And so this is, one of my favorite things to use whenever I'm doing astrology, whenever I'm checking in, just day by day, even on what's going on in the planets. I love these little guys. I wish I was promoted by Llewellyn, but I'm not. But I do like these little books. They're very helpful. Even if you're not super well versed in astrology, it's going to give you your planetary stations for the year. It has a day by day, planner that you can go through. And of course, you can make, appointments or dates or write things down in there, and it's going to show you your moon sign of the day. It's going to show you when your full moons, new moons, transits, when planets station direct or in retrograde. It's going to show you eclipses. It's going to show you when the seasons change. And then in the back, very helpful if you are a student of astrology, is it has 3 years worth of ephemeris tables. You'll definitely have to put your glasses on or magnifying glass with this because it is very small print, but it's super helpful. I love the way that, they shade out the columns which planets are retrograde. It's a really helpful little guide. So, if you're getting into astrology or if you've been into it for a while even, I'm going to just go a little closer to this chart just so we can see it even better. But if you've been doing that for a while, those little guides are they're really invaluable. So we're going to start out with the sun because we are in Aquarius season now as we begin this month. So we start out with 12 degrees Aquarius on February 1st. And look at that magical thing right next to it. That is Pluto. Pluto is our Scorpio ruler, and it is the planet that deals with birth, death, rebirth, regeneration. It deals with our deeper inner psyche. It deals with hidden mysteries and secrets. It's a very, very multifaceted energy that Pluto brings to us. So the fact that it shifted into Aquarius on January 21st is very, very important because it stays in a sign for a long time. It will be in Aquarius for about 19 years. The only change that's going to happen this year with Pluto is that it will shift back into the sign of Capricorn around, I believe it's September this year. It will go retrograde, just in that last degree of Capricorn, come back out of retrograde, and then go back into Aquarius by November. So it will have just one tiny little pass back into Capricorn, and then it's out of there for 19 years. So this is a huge change. It's a huge shift. It will be very interesting to see how this one plays out, over time, because Pluto is slow power that grows over time, right? It doesn't always reveal itself overnight. It takes a process for us to really see the fullness of what it will do and how it will do it. Going into Mercury. Mercury is still in Capricorn as we start February 1st. We did have that retrograde that ended at, the end of the year. So Mercury's been in Capricorn a little bit longer than it usually is because of that retrograde. It will shift into the sign of Aquarius on February 4th. That will be a Sunday. I do like Mercury in the sign of Aquarius during that time, and it won't be there for long. Mercury's very quick. It's funny, Pluto is super, super slow. It's the slowest one we know of in our orbit, and Mercury is just a little, quicksilver lightning, flying around. So by the 22nd, Mercury will move into Pisces, but during the 4th through the 22nd, most of this month, it will be in the sign of Aquarius. And I do like it in that sign because Aquarius is an analytical, intellectual sign. It is an air sign. And so, I believe that we'll really have a month where we're thinking about the future. We're thinking very, with a lot of innovation on mind. It's like we don't want to do the same old thing. We want to try something new. It does bring up a rebellious energy, so people might be really pushing back against authority figures or people that are trying to get them to do something. They might go, you can't tell me what to do. Boom, right? That's Aquarius energy. Mars at the beginning of the month is in the sign of Capricorn at 21 degrees, and it will also shift into Aquarius on Monday the 12th. So we don't have much longer with it in Capricorn as we get into, the beginning of February. I do love Mars in Capricorn. I must say I will miss it being there because it is such a nice stabilizing energy. It brings us great stamina. It brings us the ability to see things through to the end. It just brings us great fortitude. In the sign of Aquarius, not surprising, it can be also very rebellious because Mars can be aggression. It can be, what gets us angry, what works us up. And so yet again, when we have all that Aquarian energy, this could be a very rebellious little season, or a little pocket of time where a lot of us just feel like pushing back against whatever seems unfair, whatever is oppressive, right? Because Aquarius energy is all about freedom. It's about universal brother and sisterhood. It's about helping somebody do better. It's about leaving the world a better place, right? And so, and telling the truth, right? It's very much about telling the truth. So a lot of truth could be really coming out. And I would say, going back to Pluto, thinking about that cycle for 19 years, we're going to just continue to see so much truth revealed. Because when you take the planet that does deal with secrets and hidden mysteries and uncovering corruption, my goodness, what could shine a more lightning flashlight on that than Aquarius? So don't be surprised if, so much comes to the surface, so many hidden things are revealed. I would say it would behoove us all to just be extremely honest. I think it was, might have been Mark Twain that said, if it saves time to be honest, because, you don't have to remember all your lies, something to that effect. So next up, we have Venus starting out in Capricorn. We got a lot, these three moving in Capricorn at the very beginning of February. So, the first part of February is still going to feel a lot of Capricorn energy. Venus being in Capricorn is a really interesting place because Venus is our socialization. It's how we interact with other people. And so when Venus is in Capricorn, I think people are a lot more withdrawn. They are very serious and they don't want to waste any time. Capricorn is all about not wasting time. And so, if it's like if the people do socialize or they do get together with someone, they want somebody that it's going to be meaningful. It's going to be valuable time well spent. And it's really going somewhere. When it comes to love, that's absolutely the tone with Venus and Capricorn is that, people are not going to waste time in flighty or flaky relationships that don't go anywhere. If it's a romantic relationship, it must progress somewhere serious. If it's a friendship, it needs to be a very strong bond. It can't just be something that is light or flimsy. It has to have some strength behind it. As you can imagine, Venus in Capricorn is not always the most romantic sign. It can be very traditional. It can be very stoic. It can be very taciturn. All those Capricorn qualities. It doesn't always show that it needs love that badly. But deep inside, under the stony exterior, it is very sentimental. It is very gentle. It is very soft and loving and emotional. So, people might be a little bit curmudgeonly on the outside during Venus and Capricorn, but deep inside they're actually very warm. If you show that you're someone that's not wasting their time and you're serious about your intentions towards them in whatever respect, it's a good energy. I would also say that in business, this could lead to some very good business associations or agreements because this is something where it's all about commitment. It's all about, laying the foundation for something that will last. So Venus will be shifting out of Capricorn on February 16th and going into the sign of Aquarius. Aquarius energy is a little bit like Capricorn. It can be kind of emotionally detached and doesn't always show how much it needs, the love or the support of others. So don't be surprised, the second half of February, getting into the first week or so of March, we're going to feel a more airy, analytical, representation of Venus. So the thing that people will be looking for and, really desiring during that time is an intellectual connection. During Venus in Aquarius, or if you're born with Venus in Aquarius, you are the kind of person that, if the minds don't meet, nothing else is going to meet, because Aquarius loves intelligence. It loves intellect. It loves people that know a lot of things and have a lot of passion to talk about any subject that they feel strongly about, right? Again, it's also that rebellious energy. So within relationships, it may be sort of a push-pull energy. It's like you can't talk your partner into doing anything, that kind of feeling, or vice versa. They can't talk you into anything. I would say that that's very much what we have with both Venus in Capricorn and in Aquarius. If you happen to be a Capricorn or Aquarius, when Venus is in your sign, yes, you do benefit from that. It's going to make you more attractive. Absolutely. It's going to make you more charming. It's going to give you that Venus effect where, it's a relatively quick transit, right? Venus only stays in a sign for a little under a month. But make the most of it while you've got it there. If it's, transiting across your natal sun sign, that's a great time for you. Shine that light, go out, be social. It's a wonderful time to do that because people are just more positively inclined towards you at that time. Checking into some of our other planets, we do have, of course, here's our moon. It starts out in those last degrees of Libra as we begin the month of February, very partnership oriented. The two big cycles of the moon this month are going to be the new moon on Friday the 9th. That's going to be in Aquarius. So this is definitely a new moon 2-week cycle that brings us greater innovation. Again, greater freedom, a greater sense of beginning something new or shaking off the shackles of the past, anything that held us back, anything that was pulling us down or burdening us or making us feel stuck. That's definitely a very, very nice cycle. That will be from, again, Friday the 9th, all the way until the full moon of the 24th. And that will be in Virgo. By that time, the sun will have shifted over to the sign of Pisces. And that will be a very interesting time as well. So when the sun moves into Pisces, that's going to be Sunday, the 18th of February. During that cycle as well, the moon will be in Cancer. From the 18th to the 20th, those first couple days when the sun moves into Pisces. I think that couple days from the 18th, 19th, and 20th are going to be a very, very emotional couple of days, having both the sun and the moon in those water signs. Your emotions may be overflowing. Your heart may just be like you can't hold back. There could be just a lot of love, a lot of emotion, a lot of tears, a lot of feelings just really spilling out. I think that's very healthy, of course, to just let things, move as they need to, but do be aware. I think that's going to be a very emotional few days from the 18th to the 20th. And then when we move into Mercury in Pisces, that's obviously a very emotional place. I'm not crazy about Mercury in Pisces, and I'll tell you why. Mercury is our planet of communication, and it does, really deal with the intellect and our ability to think quickly and sharply and clearly. Pisces Mercury is not sharp and clear. It is not intellectually decisive usually, because Pisces energy can be kind of, it's like a fish. It swims, it floats, it flows. It's a little confusing. Sometimes the water is really shimmery and you can't quite see things right. It is a beautiful placement if you're an artist or a musician, a songwriter, a poet, because this is a very obviously creative form of expression. So here's what I want y'all to do if you're willing to. It's easy for me because I'm a musician and a music lover. So for me, this is like, okay, instead of trying to tell people how I feel, I'm going to find songs or poems or movies even that express how I feel. So if you find yourself having a hard time expressing your emotions during Mercury in Pisces, I want you to find a song, a poem, a painting, whatever it is, that if you need to tell someone, this will help you to understand how I'm feeling, and let them listen to that. That will probably be more connecting and more profoundly moving during that time than any other words that you could say, because everyone will be under that influence, right? And again, if you are an artist of any kind, that's a beautiful time to create, because the only downside of Mercury, other than the confusion it can cause, Mercury being in Pisces, the other downside is that it can lead to melancholy. It can increase depression, right? It can increase that feeling of the blues. And so that's why the creativity becomes so vital, because if, Pisces is very much that way. If they're feeling sad, if they're feeling down, being creative and getting that energy out through, whatever that medium is, it helps them feel so much better, right? And the same is true for anyone, whether you're a musician or not, right? It doesn't matter. This is going to help. And so the other thing I will point out as, the sun and all these planets go through Pisces is they will start to sweep across Saturn and then later Neptune as we get into, March. Saturn energy is limiting, right? It can be, right? It's cautious, it's responsible, it's careful, it's methodical. It likes to have a real plan. So, during the time of the sun moving through Pisces, we are going to be having that solar connection. And then, of course, we're going to connect the other planets as well as they start to move through Pisces. So just be aware of that we may be a lot more serious. We will be very emotional, but we'll be very serious about our emotions. It's like we're taking our feelings seriously. Or if we're having trouble emotionally, we will, figure something that we can do about it. We'll try to, get help, or we'll try to talk it out, or we'll do something that's very productive around that. So just keep that in mind, that people will have a serious tone during that beginning of the sun in Pisces towards the end of the month. That full moon in Virgo on the 24th, to me, that is an ultimate house cleaning kind of moon sign. So don't be surprised if towards the end of February, that last week or so, you may just really be doing some, literal or emotional cleansing. Virgo is a sign that deals with so many different things. It's actually one of my favorite signs to talk about because it has so many different things that it rules and deals with. It definitely deals with our health as it relates especially to our habits, our routines. It really makes us look at, the kind of habits and routines that we have, whether they're healthy ones, whether they're productive, are they good for us, right? So this could be a time when, if there's anything that you want to cleanse out of your life, it's a time when you really look at that. It's also, obviously a sign that deals with food and nutrition. So, as to our habits and our health, you may be saying, well, what do I eat every day? I always say that food is like medicine that you take every day. And so if you're eating well, getting your water, doing all that, that's a huge thing that we can all do to help our physical bodies. So this could be a time, during that full moon where you really look at stuff like that. It's also a sign that rules, healthcare. So it's like, if you're able to go, get a physical checkup, go to get a massage, do some kind of therapy for yourself. Anything that's good for the mind and the body is so connected with that full moon in Virgo. It's also, of course, a sign that deals with organization and organized work in groups. It is, like I said, the full moon is always going to be the opposite of the sun sign at the time. So Pisces and Virgo have a lot in common, even though they're kind of two sides of the coin. Pisces is far more given into its emotions. Virgo's way more given to its mind and its, intellect. But they're both the most sensitive signs of the zodiac. So if you have Pisces or Virgo influence, you're obviously going to feel this full moon a lot stronger. But these are both signs that really want to help and want to give, and they truly want to see the world be a better place. They want to make a profound impact on other people and really, give something that's important of themselves. So keep that all in mind because that's what our full moon in Virgo will be bringing up to the surface. Other planets that we'll point out just to kind of round out our reading is, Jupiter in Taurus. That's going to continue with us till May 25th. And I do believe it is a beautiful energy. I would say the people that are benefiting the most from that are going to be Capricorn. Virgo. Taurus itself, right? Because it's highlighting your sign. Jupiter is our planet of good luck, prosperity, expansion. It moves things forward. So, if you're having a tough time, even though Jupiter is maybe highlighting or helping you, don't be surprised, because a lot of people will say, well, Jupiter is supposed to be positively affecting me, but everything's been so challenging. And I'll tell them it's because sometimes that expansion that Jupiter brings to us feels like growing pains. So don't be surprised if you're feeling like there's a lot of challenge, or there's a lot of things that need to be changed or moved or shifted. It's because Jupiter is expanding you to higher and greater levels. But those old, chains, or those old limits have to be broken down first. The other beautiful thing about this is that it's creating what we call a sextile to Saturn. And, Saturn is all about, like I said, limitations and caution, right? And Jupiter is not. Jupiter is expansion and like, let's just go. Let's do it. Let's dream big, right? Saturn's over here like, be careful. Don't dream too big. But when these two play nicely together like they are right now, it's like you can plan the big dreams and have Saturn also weigh in and keep it realistic, right? And keep it grounded, so that you actually have a better opportunity to create and manifest those dreams than usual. The other signs that are doing really well with Jupiter in Taurus are, yes, Pisces and Cancer. They are the ones that are really, those 5 signs are getting the most benefit out of it. But check your personal chart, see where Taurus falls in your chart, and then you'll see exactly what house or what area of your life you're getting the most blessing or the most expansion in. So yeah, this is a great read for the month of February. It's a lot of nice energies moving forward. I also want to point out that Saturday the 10th is the Lunar New Year of the Wood Dragon. And I am a dragon. We have our little dragon friend here. This is a definite dragon channel for tarot and astrology, and I love the Chinese lunar zodiac as well as the regular Western zodiac that we're more familiar with. I love being a dragon. It's a very exciting time if you are a dragon or have dragon influence in your Chinese Bazi chart. So that's coming up soon too. So we're starting a whole new lunar zodiac cycle this February as well. So it's sort of like getting a whole new year. And of course, I'm always happy when we get to February, because January is honestly usually one of the coldest and toughest months where I am. And so, Friday the 2nd is Imbolc, which is the Celtic observance of midwinter. We're literally halfway through the winter. And that's also the observance of Groundhog Day, which also ties into that. That's why, like, the Chinese Lunar Year is called a spring festival. Because even though it's still pretty cold out in February, we're getting, at that point, we're getting closer and closer to the spring. And, the winter is further behind us than it ever was. So that's why that is. And I'll also point out for you that our Chinese Lunar New Year's start on the second new moon. They are the second new moon after the winter solstice. So that's how that's planned. And that's why our Chinese lunar years always start on a different day, right? Because it's not like a pinpointed thing, like, our Western year where we say, New Year is always on January 1st, right? With the Chinese lunar cycle, it's moon-based, which is not as specific as a solar-based Gregorian calendar, right? So that is why it's always a little different, and that's why I'll always tell you that if you're an Aquarius or a Capricorn, you need to find out the specific dates that your Chinese year fell on. Because I was born in 1977, and so I always thought I was born in the year of the snake. Then I found out that the Chinese year did not end, the dragon year did not end until after my birthday in January of 77. So that's how I knew I was a dragon. And it could be the same way for you if you have Aquarius or Capricorn influence. You might need to double check on your Chinese sign. So Anyway, guys, this was a great little overview of our astrology for the month. I hope you enjoyed it, and please do like, share, subscribe to this video for more information and more videos to come. Let me know what you think of this month coming up, and I will see you soon. Take care.